we have, as I mentioned before, a really interesting session coming up next with the fantastic Jaye Cowle, who we have had the privilege of knowing pretty much since we started the agency through our MMQ group, which is objectively the best MMQ group, MMQ3. Go 3! Jaye is going to talk to us about the secret to a happy team, and I asked Jaye to give us an interesting fact. Apparently her Peloton handle is always smiling, and Jaye's first job was working with Johnny Vaughan for The Big Breakfast. So there you are. If you could join me in welcoming Jaye to the stage.
I think that when I said to Louise that I'd like that as my walk-on music, she said, "What the hell?" But it will all become clear. So today I'm going to talk to you about my journey from straw to sticks to bricks. There will be just a touch of panto, so I will require a little bit of audience participation when the baddie comes out. I'll give you a cue, but don't worry, it's not too scary. You'll also get to meet Alan, the barefoot, 89-year-old farmer sitting in the sun on a hay bale, who changed my life. The title of my talk is The Secret to a Happy Team, and I'm going to be sharing with you my journey, the hard mistakes that I've made, so that hopefully you can learn and find out what it's like to empower your team and make a positive impact for your business and perhaps the world. But first, let me tell you who isn't happy. The wolf, when he turned up at my door recently. You see, the agency we're building is on firm foundations. It's secure, it's built to last, and it's made of bricks. My vision is that when that wolf turns up, and he will, when he huffs and he puffs, that he will meet a sticky end. While snug inside are 35 happy little pigs, having fun doing happy performance marketing, finding our clients new customers online. A house made of bricks, solid, stable, profitable, a thriving agency, and a long-term vision to have a positive impact, a business that matters. Our purpose is powered by happiness, and our vision is empowering happy companies to create happy customers. Our mission, the Happy Performance Marketing Agency. A beautiful, better business. And how are we doing this? Well, it's a journey that we're taking together as a team. But why bother making it happy? What's the result from that? Well, happy clients get record growth. A happy team who can grow and thrive. Happy workplace that really recognises the human in what we do. But it wasn't always this way. And spoiler alert, my people aren't always happy. Who is? Happiness isn't a destination, it's a state of mind. And you don't need to be in it at every moment of every day. That would be weird. We have a culture that nurtures happiness, like seedlings in a little greenhouse beside a house made of bricks. Our culture works hard to create that psychological safety, that trust, an environment where we can understand and call out both good behaviours, but also bad behaviours too, and understand what those are like. It isn't about slapping a smile on your face every day. That would definitely be weird. But it is, although that is technically what I do. with my Peloton handle always smiling. But it is about recognizing what it is that causes happiness, to promote that, to encourage it. We have a weekly check-in called Friday Pulse. I don't know if any of you use it. Some of you might use Office Vibe. It's a kind of similar thing. And every week it asks you the question, how happy were you at work this week? Those results get shared with the whole team, but it also leaves a space for you to give ideas to improve things, to say thank you to people, and they get a little email saying thank you as well. You can thank external people as well. A celebration, those weekly wins, but most importantly, also the frustrations, because you have to talk about the bad things as well as the good things. It's built on our values of happy to own it, happy to grow, happy to create impact, and happy to play. Values which guide our people, our culture, our work, our teams. But I am getting a little bit ahead of myself here. I want to share the story so that the things that I've learned the hard way, hopefully you don't have to. Once upon a time, long ago, the panto bit's coming up in a minute. And with the benefit of hindsight, I built my agency from straw. We were 8 years old. We'd hit 500,000 turnover. We had some posh offices in Exeter. I know. It's a bit like Soho. Said no one ever. We were employing more people, and we were growing from 5 people to 7 people. Heady heights. We thought things were going well, but we were missing some of the warning signs. We had no clear value proposition. Dan would have been very cross. Our clients were a real mixed bag with minuscule budgets. I'll be hitting those CMOs up later. And the team we had were brilliantly qualified, but they couldn't do their best work on these tiny budgets. We were outgrowing the house. But before I had any time to do anything about it, the wolf came. I did wonder if it would work or not, but there you go, it did. A wolf called COVID. There we go, we can all boo at that. Okay, I promise you, our audience participation over now, you'll be okay. Look, like a lot of you here, we lost 40%, probably more, of our clients in the first couple of days. Relationships that we thought were strong blew away with that first huff. Loyalty we thought we had, gone. I just hired these 2 wonderful team members, Josh and Tash. But we had half of our revenue, and I had no work for them to do. Well, for Tash, I was very lucky. Her company that I'd employed her from were really, really pissed off that I'd taken her. So, a quick call, and I got her old job back. She even got a pay rise, so I'm going to take that as a win. High five, Tash. For Josh, it was different. He didn't want to go back. So I took him for a walk around the park, and I said, I don't know what's going to happen. I can't tell. But I promise you that I will keep you in the loop. I will tell you what's going on, and I'll only give you the honest answer. 2 hours later, he asks to go for another walk. He come up with an idea, a plan, a product that we could offer our clients that could help improve their websites while the world was closed. He showed brilliance in that moment. He innovated. He trusted me with it. It was a winner. We were able to actually make some revenue from it. We were able to keep clients. But most importantly, it has become one of our core culture stories. Something that really shows trust, honesty, integrity. Something that shows that innovation can be the key to what needs to happen to keep you going. And that also, when the chips are down, collaboration can get you through the hard times. Of course, it's really in the hard times that you actually get to see the true nature of your culture, of your people, what the reality is. Anyway, as you know, the demand for paid media skyrocketed. Oh, it was a heady time. And while the team were busy supporting our clients, I hadn't furloughed anyone, so we were able to really capitalise on this growth. And we grew lightning quick. In fact, slightly too quick. There were some gaps in the house. The walls were starting to creak, and while the world got used to the new normal of the Great Resignation and high inflation, we started to feel the drafts. Despite this great growth, I can see that the second agency was made of sticks. We scaled rapidly, going from £500,000 turnover to 2 million in just a couple of years. Now, that should have been a good thing, and it was. But the first thing I realised was you can't scale that quickly and expect the team that you already have to be able to onboard those new team members without guidebooks, without handbooks. And two, those processes really started to fall down. I didn't really notice at the time that the house was made from sticks. It was because I was working in the business too much and not on the business, and we all know in this room that we're too guilty of that. Choose your own wolf. High interest rates, COVID, 3 bad client calls in a row. We've all been there. If your agency is made out of sticks, then a huff and a puff and down it will come. Luckily for launch, we started rebuilding the house of sticks before the wolf arrived. What made the difference? I got a bit of mentoring from the chairman of M&C Saatchi Performance Agency. It's a hell of a mouthful, that. I really think I would rebrand if I was them. I don't know if it's working out. The big gun, giving advice to little old me. He asked me one question. What's your destination? I thought it was meant to be about the journey, not the destination. I didn't have an answer. I kind of fumbled a bit about, grow, like more people, something. Yeah, about the journey. I got a bit lost. That's when I turned to my friends at Jaye. Ryan, shout out. Steve and I spent a bit of time together, and we went through what my whys were, why I got out of the bed in the morning, what was the bloody point of all of this. We did some EQ training, some strengths assessment, and after quite a few sessions, I just blurted out, I just want people to be happy. Happy. That was it. So I went back to the team. They agreed. That's why they love working at launch. It's been in our DNA since the very, very start. But was that just my purpose? Was that our shared why? Could it be our company purpose? So that's when I called in the experts, Alicia and Nat from the Future Kind Collective, so that they could help us codify our culture. So as you can see here, we got out the Post-it notes because agencies bloody love Post-it notes. They were sustainable, just recyclable. I had to make sure it wasn't just my purpose. And together, we found our values as a whole team. Together, we found our vision, our mission, our purpose as a whole team, and we put it into our handbook, the Launch Way, everything to do with our employee experience, our culture codified. And the result? Launch 3.0, bring on the bricks. Our beautiful agency made of bricks with solid foundations, room to expand. Our purpose, to be a happy agency. Or so I thought. We'd navigated the wolf that was called COVID. I didn't expect the next wolf to be called Alan. Alan, the barefoot octogenarian, try and say that on a stage. Should have just said 89. The 89-year-old farmer, barefoot, sitting on a hay bale in the sun. But first, we are at an agency conference. You didn't think you'd get away with a couple of bullet points. What are the main reasons that companies employ agencies? I should have the CMO panel to answer that question. I think it's a team of experts over there. I think it's a fresh perspective over there. It's industry knowledge and trends over there, and a proven track record up there. But in order to do that, we all need a very high-performing team. The key ingredients to motivate people are autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Now, if you want to properly deep dive into that, I'm not claiming credit for it. It's Dan Pink from his book Drive, and I highly, highly recommend it. He talks all about intrinsic motivation, not carrot and stick, but the fact that people actually do something because they want to, not because you're making them. To encourage motivation, they need autonomy, the ability to do their job well, job descriptions, the opposite of micromanagement. They need mastery, the ability to get into a flow state, learning and development, progression. And they need purpose, the why. Why the hell are they doing it? Something that is meaningful and worthwhile. Purpose. That's when I realised that we were missing a meaningful purpose, something bigger than us. The title of this talk is, not the talk, the conference, is Overcoming Myths and Empowering Your Agency to Be the Very Best. The very best. And the key for me is that you need a really strong purpose. This is about work worth doing. If your brick agency produces excellent, worthwhile work, then you probably already have a high-performing team. The world does not need more beige, more mediocre. We're a room full of brilliant agencies here, and we have the power to change that. But mediocrity is the inevitable outcome from accepting and not striving. Mediocrity comes from us accepting clients that we know aren't the right fit, for compromising, for selling our time. This is going to be a race to the bottom if we do that. Whereas work worth doing really attracts talented people and it retains them. Beanbags and ping pong tables don't do that. Work worth doing wins you work and creates case studies, wins you awards, gets people talking to you. Word of mouth is so powerful. Work worth doing can't be compared in a pitch process or a beauty parade. Work worth doing builds an agency with bricks, cemented together with a culture that when that wolf knocks, and he will, again and again, the mortar will stand firm. Work worth doing can change the world. Agencies who have changed the world have done the hard work, and they're built of bricks, a strong culture. They empower their team, and they have a purpose beyond just profitability. The foundations mean your high-performing team can really do that work worth doing. How do I know that we're doing that? We weren't. But we are now because of Alan. Alan, the 89-year-old, didn't say octogenarian there because I still can't say it apparently. The 89-year-old barefoot farmer, an ecologist trying to save the world with regenerative farming. A year ago, I was at Do Wales, 100 changemakers from across the world in a field in West Wales. Conversations, sharing ideas, collaborating, and quite a bit of partying. That's for the bar afterwards. The thing is there I was in my yurt, crying. I'd just seen Alan on stage, and he was talking about how we can reverse climate change through regenerative farming. It was a brilliant talk, and as I left, I saw him sitting on a hay bale in the sunshine. So I thought, right, I'll go and sit beside him, thank him for sharing all of his knowledge. He said, "What is it that you do?" I said, I have the Happy Agency. We are on a mission to change the world and be the happiest performance marketing agency in the world. He looked at me and he said, "We are all in a huge river and the current is strong and we are being carried down this river. You might be making the 35 people around you happy, but we are being swept along and there is a waterfall. Whatever happens, we're all going over the waterfall and nobody seems to care." Wow. I felt really small. I felt crushed. I thought, what's the bloody point? We're all going over this waterfall. What can I do about that? Bloody hell, Alan. My purpose is completely pointless. But that's Alan's river. I think we can change the river. And I'm going to put all of my effort and my company's effort into seeing if we can change that river. There may be some torrents and some turbulence and some rocks, and no question, the waterfall will come to all of us. I mean, it does. All of us in the end. And the world is definitely facing a really, really difficult and serious waterfall. But if we collaborate and if we help change that river to create more happy people who can do great work, surely together we can change the direction of this river. Through work worth doing, businesses with purpose. Did you know that 65% of people want to shop more sustainably, but only 25% actually do? That's called the See-Do gap, pointed out last week by Mary Portas at the B Corp conference I was at. We can help address this and perhaps some other bigger world problems. Agencies can make a difference here. We can influence that missing 40%. We can do that work. Do the work for clients who get us from 25% to 65%. That's work worth doing. We set about finding our purpose of powered by happiness, and it influences everything that we do, from our employee experience, the clients that we take on, and the work that we're doing and direction of travel for the future. It starts with our vision to empower happy companies to create happy customers. Technically, we're a performance marketing agency, PPC, paid media. No CMO wants to sit beside me at an event. That's not a strategy, that's a tactic. That doesn't change the world. But creating more happy customers, that's a strategy. Happy customers recommend you. Happy customers send back less. There's less wastage. Happy customers buy more often, more frequently. And our vision is that we can play a part in changing this river so that together we can help companies find those right customers. It helps reduce their carbon footprint. It helps make more of a positive impact and champions that independent, purpose-driven company. That's our work worth doing. People-powered high performers, they'll be the ones that make this vision come true. So today I invite you to put all of your effort, your collective effort, into changing the direction of the river with me. And I've got 2 asks. The first, challenge yourself. Is your house made of bricks with a purpose that will help change the river? And 2, we're writing the Happy Customer Manifesto. Go on, get your phones out. But we need your help. We need agencies and brands to help us craft this, to be part of our partner network so that we can match our clients with partners who can help fulfill our vision to create more happy customers. Sign up here, and when we're ready, we'll send you the first draft, because I'd love for us to be able to do something meaningful together. Before I go, occasionally, I think back to our first house, definitely built with straw. It felt right at the time until that wolf knocked at the door. And I'm so glad that that wolf did knock, because it sent me on a journey. Remember how I started by saying that the wolf isn't happy anymore now when he knocks? That's because of everything that he's taught me. So today here, for the first time, I want to say thank you, Wolf. Alan, you've helped me create a company with a bigger purpose, and for that I am very grateful. Are you with me? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jaye. I told you she was always smiling. Really fantastic talk, thank you. That was really, really useful. I can certainly resonate about the sort of building an agency out of straw, and sometimes I think we can all identify with the fact that we don't necessarily realise that at the moment. It's with hindsight that we sort of have that vision. Hindsight is 20/20. And the importance of having a destination. I think it's easy to think one does, but when you're actually faced with that question, it's often sometimes a little bit difficult to answer it, and that's when you realise. So yes, thank you. I think we've got time for...
Yeah, I think one quick question, if that's okay.
Yes.
I like this one. How do you marry happiness with a revenue target? Oh.
So happiness doesn't mean that you can't be profitable. I mean, like, happiness comes from being profitable because it means you can invest in your team. You can do, we do an incredible amount of learning and development, but we've set up the company in a way where our resources managed to allow the right amount of time to be able to get the work done, have 20% learning and development time, 5% water cooler chat. We've literally narrowed it down because so many agencies, when I quiz them, expect the billable hours for their clients, for their team members, to be way out of the possible realms of what's possible in, while doing good work, work worth doing. So it's not, people always think that it's kind of soft and fluffy. It's not. Don't underestimate the power of happiness. Sean Acorn, Sean Aker, The Power of Happiness, or The Happiness Advantage. Read that book, and it even shows you examples of if a doctor is given sweets before they do a diagnosis, they're more likely to get the diagnosis right. Wow. So take sweets to your next doctor's appointment. That's the one takeaway from today that you're going to remember.
Love it. Thank you, Jaye. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jaye.